You might be asking yourself, why is there a motorcycle parked in Rick's living room? When the real question should be, what living room is this that Rick has his motorcycle parked in? As for what living room this is, I mentioned in a previous video that Linda and I bought property in southern Arizona. This house is that property. I'll show it to you and tell you why we bought it. Well, as for why it's parked here, I like expensive artwork in my house. I kind of like it there. Well, what we bought is a little 2-bedroom, 1-bath home down here in southern Arizona. And we didn't buy it because we wanted a second home. We bought it as an investment because, to tell you the truth, our little 6x10 cargo trailer is perfectly comfortable down here out camping in the desert, and we still do that. But now we kind of use this place just to kind of range out from. It kind of provides more of a home base. It's a cute little place though. That's a nice little house. Yeah, the little 6x10 is still here and we still use it. In fact, we're leaving tomorrow, going to be gone for about a week, and then we'll come back here. One of the nice things about this area is there's no lawns to mow. Oh, we've got a couple of nice saguaro cactuses. It's got a nice little carport. It's not tall enough to get the trailer underneath, unfortunately, but it provides good shade for the truck. In the backyard, some more desert plants. There's an organ pipe cactus over there. It's got a little 1-car garage here. Nothing that needs mowed or watered, that's for sure. Which is nice for a house that you leave for long periods of time. Well, when we were looking for a place, we were looking for a fixer-upper. And we saw quite a few of those. But man, were they ever fixer-uppers. And the realtor showed us this one, and it was totally redone. New stucco siding, new roof, all new windows, new carpeting inside. It was just ready to go. The air conditioner, well, it's actually a heat pump. It was fairly new. Water heater was fairly new. It was just turnkey. Just move in and do nothing. And that kind of appealed to me. I didn't have anything to do, and it's been pretty nice. So yeah, we bought it several months ago, and then we were back in Montana for a while, and then we just got back down here about 3 days ago. And it was just like we left it, so everything was perfect that way. Oh, as is typical with anything you buy, there's things that need to be done. Regular drain is okay, coming from like the bathroom and laundry room, it's fine. But for some reason they had run the sink drain, the kitchen sink, out into the yard here. So it comes off the house, runs underground, and it came into this pit right here, which I've got dug out right now. It was just kind of a circular area, and it was filled with bark. And you can see the drain right here in front of me, and it just emptied out. And I guess that's kind of common down here. They take that water and they'll run it into a bucket and then pour it on the plants and things like that. I want to tap it into the main drain line. So I've been digging out here. You can see where I've been digging this trench. That's about 30 inches deep. I'm looking for the main sewer line. And I hope it doesn't take me too long to find it. But that's the one thing I got going. The other thing is, I bought a used dryer, gas dryer. You hang clothes on the line down here and they're dry within 20 minutes. But during the monsoon season, it can rain for, a couple of weeks. So you got to have a dryer. But the used dryer I bought doesn't work. I mean, it works when you first fire it up. It acts like it's working. It heats up and everything, but it only stays on for about a minute and then it goes off. So I'm in the process of repairing that, as you can see. But I've got some parts ordered and I think I've got it figured out. It's a gas dryer. And it also had this brand new deck built on the back. It's pretty nice. I don't know if I'll ever be able to afford to put a cover over the top, but it's nice out here. So no, we didn't buy property out in the desert, which is, we don't need to with all the public land around here. I mean, millions of acres it seems like. You can go anywhere you want out in the desert, and that little trailer works very well for that. But why did we buy it? Well, this isn't financial advice or anything like that, but you know, people our age, hopefully by the time you get to be our age, you've got money in the bank sitting in the mutual funds or maybe in the stock market or something like that. And we've been doing that for years. And we just figured it was time to diversify a little bit. You know, we've been watching the market do these gains and losses, and everything is so uncertain these days that we wanted to put part of our savings somewhere where it was safer. And we've always had good luck in the past with property. Back when Linda and I were young, we started buying a little parcel of land and we'd hold on to it for a while and then sell it, or, you know, a house or something like that. And we always did pretty well. I think the key to that is, like I say, this is not financial advice. This is what worked for us. The key for us was to always buy someplace that we liked. So that's what we always did, and it just turned out to be that the kind of places that we liked usually went up in value. That's just a blessing, I guess. So same with this place. We bought it because we really like it, but it's an investment. I told Linda, I says, we need to invest some money in some property. And she says, well, why not Southern Arizona, where we're always at anyway? So I went, oh yeah, good idea. So that's what we did. But that appealed to us to do that. You know, we didn't need a vacation home. We needed an investment is what we needed. And one of these days we may rent this place out. I don't know, but it sure is fun right now. Air conditioning and a hot shower and a washer dryer. Well, almost a dryer, but it'll be one pretty soon, I hope. One thing about the town we're in, though, is that the water is really bad. You don't drink this water. And even when you go out to restaurants, if you're going to order a drink, you order a bottled water or you order a soda in a can. You don't drink the water. You don't use the ice at the restaurant because it tastes bad. So the first thing we had to do was put in an RO filter under this sink. And I did the same one that I used on our house up in Montana. It works really well. Yeah, that's the first thing we did was put in this RO filter. So it made the water in the house now very good. I got my tester out. And the water tests good. It's kind of a low good. But the total dissolved solids is 523 parts per million. Now, regular drinking water that you might get out of your tap at home is 1/5 of that, or 20% of that. So yeah, this water's got a lot of stuff in it that just doesn't taste good at all. Now let's test the water from the RO filter. And you'll see that it makes a huge difference. Yeah, everybody should really have an RO filter under their sink. They're not that expensive, and they really improve your water. Now, this water tests at 99%, which is, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. And the total dissolved solids is from 526 or whatever it was, it's down to 42. So that's excellent. One thing I like to do on this channel, and I don't get the opportunity very often, but when I review a piece of equipment, I like to give you an update on how it's doing. And one thing I reviewed was these Itehil RO filters, and this is a rechargeable one. It does the same thing as what I've got under the sink here, but we use this when we're camping. And I'm going to tell you about this here in the house because the nearest stream or pond is over 100 miles from here. So there's no water out there for me to draw water from. But anyways, this RO filter does work extremely well, and we always have it with us. The water is totally safe to drink, even from the most foul source you can imagine. The thing about RO filters, though, is they take out everything, including the minerals that we need to survive. So if you're drinking RO water, you need to be sure you take a multivitamin every day. I've already reviewed this. I'll put the link down in the video description. So what you get is you get pure water out of the white hose. This is pure drinking water. And out of the blue hose is the bypass. But this went through the first filter, so this is still good for washing dishes or bathing or whatever. I'm just using this tap water to filter, but let's see what the total dissolved solids are. Okay, the water is excellent, 98%. And you remember it was 526 particles per million for total dissolved solids straight from the tap. When I ran it through the under sink RO filter, that came down to 46 or 42 parts per million. This is 26 parts per million, so this filtered out way more. It's actually better than the unit under my sink. So this is the one we take camping with us. But the thing is, they sent me this remineralization filter, and I want to see what it does. Now this should make that total dissolved solids go up, but that's minerals, good minerals going back into the water. So let's put this on and see if it does do that. Okay, remember our total dissolved solids was 26, which means there wasn't any minerals left in the water. So now let's see what we got. $43. So the total dissolved solids went from 26 up to 43, and that's the minerals going back into the water. And this makes me think that I need to buy a remineralization filter to put on the one under my sink too, because this is working for Itehil. So yeah, I still vouch for this Itehil RO water filter. And the remineralization filter, it just makes it so that your water tastes better and is better for you because it's got the minerals back in again, the good stuff. Well, it's not much of a garage, but it's solid enough. The biggest problem is this dirt floor in here. I can't afford to put cement in here. That would be nice though, but I might be able to put gravel in here. That would neaten it up. I know that the squirrels and whatnot like to come in here and dig. I don't really store anything out here, except this is where the motorcycle lives when we're down here. So it works for that. Hello, Linda.
Well, hello, Rick.
Hey, how are you liking the house?
This house? Yeah, I really like it. It's perfect. Yeah.
Well, it was your idea.
I know. That's why it's perfect. Yeah, it's perfect. It's the right size for two people, and we didn't have to buy a whole lot of stuff to fill it up with, like furniture. It came with everything. So it actually was a better buy than we initially thought because of that. There are still some things we got to work on, but that's just us. We always work on stuff. So, yeah. And we come down here anyway, to southern Arizona, this part of the country, and it's nice to have a home base here. So while we're out camping and road tripping, we don't feel like we have to rush home, There's a second place we can come to and rejuvenate and go out again.
True that.
Yeah.
The only thing about this place that I would change, instead of being one bath, I'd make it at least a bath and a half.
Well, you have the backyard.
Well, anyway, this is the house. This is what we bought down here. This is what we invested in, and we sure enjoy it. But now it's time to get the trailer ready because we're heading out in the morning, do a few days worth of camping, which is what we're down here for to begin with. Whew. So we just need to make a run to the grocery store on the way out of here, right?
Right. I need some groceries.
How about some steaks?
Steaks are
I have firewood, you know.
really?
Uh-huh. I probably should get some beer too. Beer sounds good because it's getting kind of hot down here.
You mean root beer?
Yeah.